Chosen one, this revelation changes everything. Final warning. You have been feeling it within your spirit for a long time now. The sense that something greater is being revealed to you, something that will transform not just the direction of your path, but the way you see the entire journey. This is not an ordinary message, nor is it a coincidence that you are here at this moment, receiving these words. It is a revelation, a breakthrough of divine proportions, a warning and a promise at the same time. It tells you that everything you thought was delayed, everything you assumed was denied, is actually unfolding in perfect order. This revelation is not here to scare you, but to awaken you, to shake off the dust of doubt and hesitation, and to remind you that your destiny has always been secure. The final warning is clear. Do not miss this moment. Do not look away, for this is the hour that shifts the course of your future forever. Before we move deeper into this message, I want you to make a conscious decision to stay with me until the end of this video, because every word is designed to unlock the power of this revelation within you. And I encourage you to engage with this energy actively. Write in the comments your warmest wishes along with the number 66. This act is more than just interaction. It is an energetic declaration, a symbolic agreement with the universe that your wishes are alive, empowered, and already manifesting. As you put your wishes into words, you are igniting them into the field of creation, energizing the flow that connects heaven and earth. Remember, wishes are seeds, and when planted with intention and action, they grow into realities that align with your divine calling. So do this not out of routine, but as an act of faith, knowing that what you write carries weight in the unseen realms. Chosen one, this revelation changes everything because it demands that you see yourself differently. For so long, you have been conditioned to underestimate the power of your presence, to minimize the impact of your calling, and to silence the authority of your voice. But now the truth is being unveiled. You are not small, you are not forgotten, and you are not ordinary. You are a divine assignment walking in human form, carrying treasures that this world cannot measure. And with this awareness comes responsibility. The final warning is not to go back to the mindset that kept you bound, not to shrink into the comfort zones that robbed you of growth, and not to delay the steps you are being instructed to take. This revelation asks you to rise now, because the moment of waiting has expired and the season of movement has arrived. As this revelation unfolds, you may feel resistance from those around you. They may not understand why you suddenly shift your focus, why your priorities change, or why you no longer fit into the old molds that once defined you. That is because revelation exposes what was hidden and elevates you to a level where old patterns cannot survive. This is why it is called a final warning. If you attempt to carry the old into the new, you will find yourself weighed down, delayed, and drained. The call is to release, to shed, to step forward with nothing but faith and the certainty that heaven is guiding every step. You cannot afford to remain in half-belief. You must embrace the fullness of this truth. Your destiny is not waiting. It is here. And this revelation is your undeniable sign. Think of everything you have walked through up to this moment. The challenges, the betrayals, the nights of silence, the prayers that seemed unanswered, the people who doubted you. Every single piece of that puzzle was necessary to prepare you for what is happening now. This is why you had to endure what others could not, why you carried weights that others were spared from, and why you felt alone even in crowded rooms. It was all part of shaping the strength within you, sharpening your vision, and training your spirit to recognize truth when it finally appeared. And now it is here. This revelation is that truth. It says that nothing was wasted, no pain was in vain, and every tear watered the soil of the future you are about to walk into. The final warning is not to ignore this inner knowing. You may feel a push to doubt again, to question whether what you sense is real. That is the test. Whether you will trust the voice inside of you or allow fear to steal your inheritance once more. Fear has robbed you long enough, and hesitation has cost you opportunities that you will never fully measure. But this moment is different. This is a divine interruption, a turning point that divides your life into before and after. Before this revelation, you questioned everything. After this revelation, you will step boldly into everything promised. The shift begins not tomorrow, not next year, but the moment you accept that this message is for you and that your alignment with it, it will set in motion forces far greater than you can imagine. As you continue listening, let your heart stay open to the truth beneath the words. Do not hear this with only your mind, for the mind will argue, rationalize, and attempt to confine divine truth into human logic. Instead, hear it with your spirit, because your spirit recognizes the frequency of destiny. Your spirit knows when the voice of truth is calling you forward. That is why something inside you feels stirred right now. It is the part of you that has always known you were chosen, the part that has been waiting for this very confirmation. The revelation that changes everything is not external. It is the awakening of who you truly are. And the warning is simply this: do not close your eyes again once they have been opened. Chosen one, when a revelation arrives, it does not come gently. It comes with force, with clarity, with a voice that shakes the foundation of the illusions you once accepted as truth. This is why it feels disruptive. This is why, at times, you feel as though everything around you is collapsing. But in reality, it is not destruction, it is realignment. What is false must break away so that what is true can stand in its place. You may feel the weight of endings, the suddenness of transitions, or the discomfort of being pushed into new spaces. Understand this: the revelation that changes everything rarely allows you to remain in the comfort of what you have known. It calls you higher. It calls you further. It calls you into the unknown, because only in that unknown can your full potential unfold. The final warning is not a threat, but an urgent reminder. Do not confuse endings with loss. Do not mistake disruption for punishment. Every shake, every shift, every door closing is heaven's way of guiding you into the alignment you prayed for, even if it doesn't look the way you imagined. Think of it this way: a seed must break before it grows. A cocoon must be destroyed before the butterfly can fly, and old skin must shed before the new can emerge. You are in the process of becoming, and becoming requires breaking. The revelation here is that nothing being removed from your life is a mistake. It is making room for the reality that was promised to you long ago. The warning is that if you cling too tightly to what is leaving, you risk delaying what is meant to arrive. Chosen one, this revelation is also about identity. For too long, you may have been walking beneath your true capacity, living smaller than what was designed for you, dimming your own light to make others comfortable. This message is a divine interruption to that pattern. It is telling you that you can no longer pretend to be less than who you are. You cannot hide your brilliance, you cannot silence your voice, and you cannot delay your destiny any longer. The people who once accepted the smaller version of you will not always understand the fuller expression of your calling, and that is okay. Some will fall away, some will resist, some will even criticize. But their resistance is not a sign for you to shrink back. It is confirmation that you are stepping into a level of truth that makes others uncomfortable, but sets you free. This revelation changes everything because it confronts the lies that you believed about yourself. It unmasks the doubts that whispered you were not enough. It exposes the fears that told you abundance, success, and purpose were for others, but not for you. And it dismantles the illusion that your struggles were a sign of disqualification. In reality, every struggle was evidence of your preparation. Every storm you survived gave you wisdom. Every delay trained your patience. Every setback taught you resilience. And now, those very qualities are the tools you need to step into your new reality. This is why the warning must be taken seriously, because you cannot carry old lies into a new truth. You must decide here and now to release them fully. The weight of this moment is not just about your personal life. It is about your impact. Revelation is never only for the one who receives it. It always flows outward. When your perspective changes, when you embrace your truth, when you step into alignment, the ripple effects touch everyone connected to you. People will be inspired by your courage, encouraged by your transformation, and awakened by your example. The final warning is not just for you, it is for those who will need your light. If you delay, they remain in darkness. If you hide, they continue searching for answers that you were meant to carry. Your destiny is not selfish, it is service. The revelation that changes everything is not only about what you gain, but about what you give when you rise. There will be moments where you feel unprepared, moments where the path ahead looks unclear, and moments where the pressure feels unbearable. But chosen one, revelation comes with provision. You are not being sent into this transformation empty-handed. Everything you need is already within you, and what is not within will meet you along the way. Resources will appear. Connections will align. Opportunities will unfold. Strength will rise in you at the very moment you think you cannot continue. This is how heaven ensures that revelation does not just awaken you, but sustains you. The warning here is simple. Do not quit before the provision appears. Too many stop walking just before the breakthrough comes. Stay the course. Trust the process. And watch as what you need arrives exactly when it should. Chosen one. The reason this revelation is urgent is because time has shifted. You are no longer in the season of waiting. You are in the season of moving. The clock of destiny has struck, and the delay has expired. This is why you feel the push, the stirring, the restlessness inside of you. It is your spirit responding to the shift. The final warning is this: do not ignore the timing. Opportunities have windows, and windows eventually close. The revelation is not just a confirmation, it is a call to action. What you do next will determine how quickly you walk into the fullness of what has been prepared. Fear may whisper that you are not ready, but revelation answers back that you have been ready longer than you realize. So let this truth settle into you. Your life will not look the same after this. Your vision, your relationships, your priorities, your daily choices, they will all shift because the revelation has changed the foundation you stand on. This is the point of no return, and that is the beauty of it. Because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. Once you awaken, you cannot go back to sleep. Once you embrace destiny, you cannot find satisfaction in distractions. This is your final warning not to turn back. Because what lies ahead is greater than anything behind you, and what lies ahead is exactly what you were chosen for. Chosen one, the revelation you are carrying is not just information, it is transformation. This is why it feels heavier than anything you've received before. It doesn't simply inform your mind, it reshapes your entire life. And when transformation begins, it demands space. You will notice things shifting around you, sometimes so rapidly that you can barely process what is happening. Relationships may suddenly change. Plans you once thought were secure may fall apart. The places where you once found comfort may no longer feel like home. Do not panic. These are not signs of failure. They are signs that revelation is working. The old cannot coexist with the new. What you are experiencing is the clearing away of everything that cannot carry the weight of who you are becoming. The warning here is to not fight what is leaving. So often, people sabotage their own destiny by clinging to what was never meant to go with them into the next season. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. You cannot take a mindset of lack into a season of abundance. You cannot carry fear into a season of expansion. And you cannot bring people into your journey who are not equipped to walk at the pace of your destiny. Some will resist your growth because it exposes their stagnation. Some will question your revelation because it confronts their comfort. Some will even try to guilt you into staying where you are because your rise reminds them of their refusal to move. Do not be deceived. You were not chosen to stay stuck. You were chosen to rise, even if it means rising alone for a time. This is why the revelation feels like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it liberates you. On the other, it separates you. Liberation and separation often come together, because the freedom to walk into your calling also requires the courage to walk away from what hinders it. This is not about abandoning people with arrogance. It is about discerning who is aligned with your destiny and who is not. Some connections were only for a season, and trying to force them into permanence will only create frustration. When heaven reveals, it also removes. Trust the removals as much as you trust the revelations. The warning is simple. If you ignore the removals, you will find yourself weighed down when you should be rising. Chosen one, another layer of this revelation is about your vision. You are seeing more clearly now than you ever have before. Things that once confused you are starting to make sense. Patterns you could not see before are being revealed. The hidden motives of people, the unseen opportunities, the quiet whispers of your own spirit. They are all come clearer. This clarity is not accidental. It is part of the revelation that changes everything. With clarity comes responsibility. You cannot claim to see and then live as if you are blind. Once you know better, you are accountable for doing better. The final warning is this: revelation without action leads to frustration. If you see the door and refuse to walk through it, the vision becomes a weight instead of a gift. Do not let fear rob you of the reward of clarity. You may also notice that with revelation comes an increase in opposition. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of the process. Many chosen ones assume that when revelation comes, life will suddenly become easier. But in truth, revelation often attracts resistance. Why? Because you are no longer walking in illusion, and illusion is what systems of control rely on. When you break free from lies, when you stop playing small, when you refuse to be manipulated, Those who thrived off your blindness will be unsettled. They may resist, they may attack, they may even try to discredit you. Do not take it personally. Opposition is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are disrupting what was never meant to control you in the first place. The final warning is this: do not retreat when resistance rises. Stand firm. The revelation is your protection, even in the midst of the battle. The truth is, chosen one, revelation is a dividing line. Before it, you were unaware. After it, you are awakened. And once awakened, you cannot return to ignorance. This is why it feels so permanent. This is why your heart knows you cannot go back to who you were, even if part of you longs for the simplicity of before. That simplicity was not peace, it was numbness. Now that you are alive to truth, you are alive to destiny. The final warning is that nostalgia for the past can become a trap. Do not romanticize what was only a cage. Do not look back at chains as though they were treasures. Your future holds far more than your past ever could, and the revelation is proof of that promise. You are being asked to embrace courage like never before. Courage to walk into the unknown. Courage to trust the unseen. Courage to let go of what no longer serves you. Courage to stand even when misunderstood. Courage to believe that you are worthy of everything heaven has aligned for you. The revelation demands it, because revelation without courage dies in hesitation. And chosen one, hesitation is no longer an option. The time for delay has ended. The moment for action has arrived. The warning is clear. If you hesitate too long, opportunities will pass and doors will close. But if you step forward with courage, even in uncertainty, you will see paths appear where none seem to exist. This is your moment. This is why the revelation came now and not before. You were not ready before. The struggles, the delays, the refining, they all had to happen first. But now you are prepared. Now your heart is strong enough, your spirit is mature enough, and your vision is clear enough. The revelation that changes everything is proof that your time has come. The final warning is that you cannot postpone destiny any longer. Every delay from here is a choice, not a circumstance. Every hesitation from here is self-inflicted, not imposed. You have been given the light you need. Now it is time to walk in it fully. Chosen one of the greatest dangers after receiving revelation is distraction. You must understand that not all battles are meant to be fought, and not all invitations require your presence. When light enters your life, darkness does not simply surrender. It tries to lure you back into its patterns by draining your energy with meaningless struggles. Distractions often disguise themselves as opportunities, obligations, or even relationships. They look harmless at first, but slowly they pull your focus away from the very path revelation has set before you. This is why discernment is so vital in this season. Every request for your time, every connection, every task that presents itself to you must now be weighed against the question: does this align with the revelation I've been given? If the answer is no, then you must have the courage to decline. Do not let guilt manipulate you into serving what heaven has already released you from. Do not let fear convince you that rejecting distractions means missing out on something important. You are not missing out. You are protecting what is sacred. The final warning here is clear. What you entertain will either multiply your destiny or dilute it. Guard your focus with everything in you, because revelation thrives in focus but dies in chaos. As this revelation unfolds, You may also notice that your environment feels unfamiliar. The places that once fit you no longer carry the same energy. The routines you once relied on feel too small. Even the way you think about time and purpose begins to shift. This unfamiliarity is not a mistake. It is the stretching of your spirit. You are being pulled out of old cycles into a new rhythm. It feels uncomfortable at first, like wearing clothes that do not quite fit. But this discomfort is proof of growth. Just as a seed breaks the soil before it reaches the sun, you are breaking through old patterns before you reach your next level. The warning is this: do not retreat to what feels familiar simply because the new feels uncomfortable. Comfort will cost you your destiny if you allow it. Chosen one, another part of this revelation is about your voice. Your words are no longer ordinary. They carry weight. What you speak now is shaping reality at an accelerated pace. This is why you cannot afford to speak carelessly. Complaints, fear, doubt, they will only attract more of what you don't want. Instead, you must guard your tongue and align your words with the revelation. Speak life. Speak vision. Speak purpose. Even in moments of uncertainty, let your words declare faith instead of fear. The final warning here is powerful. Silence is better than speech that contradicts your destiny. Your voice is no longer neutral. It is creative. Every word is either building or breaking. Choose wisely. You may also feel an unusual sense of isolation during this time. It can be confusing because you expect revelation to bring celebration, but instead, it often brings separation. People may not understand what you are carrying. They may distance themselves, criticize you, or simply fade away. This isolation is not punishment. It is positioning. You are being set apart so that your spirit can fully absorb and embody the revelation without interference. If too many voices surround you, their noise can drown out the whisper of truth within you. This is why heaven sometimes allows solitude. It refines your spirit and sharpens your discernment. The warning is this: do not misinterpret solitude as abandonment. It is not abandonment. It is preparation. Learn to be content in your own company, for in that space you will find clarity that crowds can never give you. As you walk deeper into this revelation, you will notice synchronicities appearing more often. Dreams, signs, repeated numbers, encounters with strangers who speak directly to your situation. All of these are confirmations that you are aligned. These are not coincidences. They are evidence that the unseen realm is working with you. Do not dismiss them, and do not overanalyze them. Simply acknowledge them as reminders that you are not walking alone. But here lies the warning. Do not chase signs. Signs are meant to follow your obedience, not replace it. If you spend your time chasing confirmations instead of acting on what you already know, you will delay your destiny. Signs are guides, not substitutes for faith. Chosen one, revelation also shifts the way resources flow to you. You may notice that certain streams of provision are drying up, while unexpected new ones are opening. This can feel unsettling, especially if you were comfortable with the old ways of receiving. But understand this: provision moves with purpose. If your purpose changes, your provision will also shift to match it. The warning is this: do not cling to old sources of supply as if they are your lifeline. They were never your lifeline. They were only channels. The true source has always been greater, and it will never fail you. Trust that new channels will appear, even if the old ones close. The revelation you carry also carries fire. This fire is not destructive. It is purifying. It burns away illusions. It exposes hidden motives. It refines your character, and it ignites your passion. But fire, by its nature, is not comfortable. It can feel like pressure, like being stretched, like being tested beyond what you thought you could bear. Do not resist the fire. What feels like breaking is actually building. What feels like loss is actually liberation. The warning is this: if you resist the fire, you remain unrefined. And unrefined, you cannot hold the weight of your destiny. Embrace the fire and let it do its work, for it is shaping you into the vessel that can carry everything that has been promised to you. Finally, chosen one, understand this. The revelation is not just for you. It is entrusted to you, but it will ripple out to others. Your courage, your obedience, your transformation will inspire and impact lives far beyond your own. This is why the revelation feels so weighty. It is generational. It is bigger than your current life, bigger than your current struggles, bigger than anything you can yet imagine. The final warning is this: do not treat the revelation lightly. Carry it with reverence, because what you do with it now will echo into eternity. And so, chosen one, walk forward with unshakable faith. For this revelation is not just a message, but a divine assignment entrusted to your spirit. Every step you take from this moment carries weight, not only for your destiny, but for countless others who will be touched by your courage and light. Do not allow fear to silence you, and do not let doubt delay you. For heaven has already gone before you, preparing the path, aligning opportunities, and guarding you from unseen harm. Understand that every challenge you face is only sharpening your character. Every delay is positioning you, and every battle is shaping the strength needed to carry this revelation with honor. Your obedience to this call will unlock doors that no human hand could ever open. Your perseverance will release blessings not only into your life, but into generations after you. What feels overwhelming now will one day be the very testimony that proves the power of alignment, faith, and divine timing. This revelation is the fire within you. It is meant to guide, to ignite, and to spread. Carry it with reverence, speak it with clarity, and live it with boldness. For when you stand in the fullness of this truth, nothing and no one can stop the wave of transformation it will release. The time is here, the moment is now. Rise, chosen one, and step into the eternity already written for you.